What's going on, everyone? If you guys want to go ahead and double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here, would appreciate it. If you're debating, go ahead and hop on in the box. If you're not, please hop out. They're still crying about 2020. Still crying about it. Still. There's a lot more to it, Mo. There's a lot more to it. Anyways, if you guys want to double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here. Super irritated. For some reason, I could not get the audio to work. I don't know what it was. I don't know why. I don't know why it does this every time I unplug something. Every single time, it just turns into a nightmare. Don't know why. What's going on, Paige? Do I go live on YouTube? Yeah, I am live over on YouTube. I asked people if they want to join. I think Jaden's busy. I don't know if Josh is going to join us or Paige or anyone, but we'll see. But if you guys want to go ahead and double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here, would appreciate it. If you guys are over on YouTube, want to double tap the screen, help get some people in here as well, would appreciate it. I'm going to join over on my other account. I think we're only going to be live for a few minutes. Not very long, so it really depends on my son and when he's ready to get picked up. Absolutely false, absolutely true, and you're coping. We're getting taxed. After a pickup and tour van collided? That's rough. Why should Americans have to compete with sweatshop wages? You guys are advocating for sweatshop wages. That's what you're advocating for now. If you're not for raising the minimum wage, you're advocating for that. So don't tell me you care. And that's the bullshit of it. Oh, we care about American workers and how much they make and you sweatshop wages, but also we don't want to raise fucking America is sweatshop wages and you guys are totally fucking fine with it. Totally fine with it. Hey, Paige.
Hello.
What's going on? I don't know how long I'm going to be live this morning. We'll see, but because I spent 30 minutes trying to get the audio to work. I actually spent longer than that because I started like 20 minutes early. Anyway.
It happens. You're live. Don't sweat it.
Yeah. Anyway, honestly, about to crash out over the Trump. I actually already did. The Trump-Ukraine deal.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to actually hit the recording on this. I'm going to put this over on YouTube. Give me a second. So like I said, about to crash out over the Trump-Ukraine deal. I don't know how much of it you read into, if you read into any of it. Did you get anything?
No.
Okay, so here's what's. This is the deal. So this is like the series of events. Trump comes in. He says, we're not getting enough for this. He then undermines U.S. aid in Ukraine. He then turns around and, just blasts them on the international stage. It turns into a big scuffle between everyone. And he's saying, we're not getting enough from this. We need a mineral deal, etc., etc. Now, Ukraine had been working with us regardless. And there was a fund set up for them after the war for them to reinvest in the country and help rebuild it. I don't think that there are any terms that, Ukraine wouldn't have agreed to. What they wanted was security guarantees. And so what Trump did was he came in, destroyed our relationship with them completely, said, you sign this agreement. The agreement basically states that Ukraine and the United States can invest into an investment fund. Who invite? Oh, that video for YouTube's okay. Just for the record, when I say I'm putting this on YouTube, if you could not invite people, I would appreciate it. So, just threw me completely off. Okay. So the United States was supposed to set up an investment fund with Ukraine, right? And basically, any profits from that fund, so it's like preferential treatment. So basically, like, okay, if the United States investors go to this fund, Ukraine goes into it, they all invest, and profits are split between them, right? And it requires 10 years for everything, all the profit to go to reinvest into Ukraine. And so that was the deal. And the deal's like, okay, in a vacuum, if the United States and Ukraine just signed off on this deal, it's like, it's okay. But the problem is that Donald Trump has undermined the shit out of Ukrainian security. So even though they have this fund now, right, which has only handled the department he was handing it off to has only handled 4 investment funds over in 2024. So even if, right, that they get this investment, whatever, like if you're a company or you're an investor, there's no guarantees that Russia can't just reinvade in the future and take your exploration exports, right? So why would they invest? And even more so, Ukraine gets to determine what they can or cannot pull out of the ground. So it's like Trump went through this whole thing, caused Russia to go aggressive, invade, send a whole ton more people in there. And what we got out of it was an agreement that Ukraine would have already agreed to anyways. And we're basically back where we started. The United States position now, even though they've changed their mind like 4 or 5 times now, their position now is that Russia invaded Ukraine. That's their position now. So we went through
Right.
all of this to get nothing.
A sloppy deal. Like, yeah.
Nothing. And there's nothing guaranteeing that Ukraine is even going to allow money into the fund or that they're going to even determine, hey, we want to pull this out of the ground. It's just preferential treatment if U.S. investors are involved in the future. That's literally it. So why, if you're an investment firm, why would you want to spend money on that? They don't have any guarantees. Russia could invade. It's just like you're just in the same position, but Ukraine's in a least stable. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, there's really no benefit. I like even if you say, "Hey, Ukraine, you get first dibs or whatever." First dibs on what? Scared companies or like, yeah, I'm not really sure about this.
Right. So the deal is just trash, just full blown, not good. It really is just like a handshake agreement. Really is.
But he's
And if the fund, so there's a contingency in it. If the fund gets in the way of EU membership in any capacity, EU membership takes precedent.
right.
Meaning that European countries could just undermine us. Presumably, they could even do it with legislation just to fuck with the United States. Just, well, you have to do this, that. But yeah. So that's the whole, like, we
You
went through this whole spiel for what? What do we get? He was supposed to end the war, and instead we ended up in the same spot we're at, but Ukraine's not being funded, and a fund that's going nowhere.
you think he got this from this concept, this little concept that he's offered from The Art of the Deal, a or the Schnazi book that was sitting next to that's table.
Honestly, these are just the deals he's made his whole life, right? Make
Yeah.
shitty deals, get marginal gains, don't pay your taxes, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, and I don't get it. MAGA, hop up here and tell us how is he a great businessman?
Right, because everything that's happened with Ukraine is a complete and colossal failure. Everything that's happened across the world is a complete and colossal failure. I mean, this is a failure. This is a failure. And on top of that, just to point out, so the Biden administration plan was this: we're going to continue to fund Ukraine. We're going to create a good cooperation basis with them. And in return, the hope will be that we could establish some sort of economic ties in the future, maybe reinvestment funds, whatever. that we could solidify with them. I think there was an agreement in the works under Biden, so we can solidify some agreement, some sort of and that would have worked, and we would have just given them security guarantees. And Trump came in and said, "Nah, fuck that. No security guarantees, and also nobody's going to want to invest in the country."
But isn't that like part of the tension that started in the Oval Office when Zelensky was there? Wasn't he like, "Hey, repeat after me, a guarantee that this is like at least to a midterm like commitment," and not that deal in particular, but wasn't like, "Hey, we're going to do the mineral thing, but can you at least say like your gentleman's agreement some kind here?" And that's when they kind of turned on him, because I think for me, Trump did not want to say that in public, and I think that's really what ticked him off, because
Right.
he knows people like the world would hold him to it, his promise. Not that
Yeah,
it mattered.
I'm not even sure. So I guess there's a peace negotiations in the works, but I don't know that Ukraine is even going to take it. It's really going to depend on what European countries say, and whether or not they can. I think there's now a compounding factor of what's happening with the tariffs and global trade, and may cause global recession. And Donald Trump may have just, through all of his actions, handed Ukraine off to Russia and destabilized the region for the next half century. So, because European countries, how involved are they going to want to be when they're also fighting off more economic hardship? That was the original thought on this. Is like, how much economic hardship are we willing to take? Now Trump is forcing them into more, and are they going to be able to run to them? I don't know. So it's really, really reliant. It's really reliant on that. So yeah,
What
we'll
is Trump
see.
talking about? American companies, right?
It's an American investment fund, yeah. So you would invest
Right.
into that fund, and then right. But if I'm an investor, I'm going. There's no guarantee that Russia's not going to reinvade in 6 months from now.
Right. And it's not like that Ukraine, if Ukraine, let's say they got a better offer of some kind, or a company like a German company would say, no, we'll come in, we'll do that, and give them more money or something like that,
Right,
right?
you're gonna.
Yeah.
Right, there's also the problem. You're gonna put your technicians at risk. You're gonna put because those are gonna be prime targets for Russia, trying to disrupt money and your resources and all that other stuff. So they're not gonna want to send people to the country. And if a war breaks out, then I guess we start relying on Ukraine to that degree. We could have created long term stability through continuing to fund them, and Russia would have just been SOL. And now we're not. So,
Yeah, I don't think Ukraine should buckle and give any land, not like even an acre, to Russia.
right. I mean, this is very,
Right.
like, if Donald Trump just continues to fuck up, right? What did he started with? We started with, we were funding Ukraine, or we need to end the war in Ukraine. I'm going to stop funding them. I'm going to cut them off. He comes in. He doesn't end the war. He continues to fund them. He turns on Ukraine, and then goes to Russia. Russia says, "Nah, we're not making any kind of deal you want." Then he turns around, goes back to Ukraine. So this guy fucking did a fucking the song and dance all the way back to the fucking point. Isn't that like literally a song and dance all the way back to the fucking point?
And
Wild.
ironically, thinks that Zelensky should show gratitude. Okay. For what?
For what? Right. You made him sign over his mineral rights, just to take his side.
Right. Like lip service, basically. So, has Trump or Trump administration, have they mentioned Putin at all lately?
Not really. They're turning on him, I guess, because they've met with Putin multiple times. But the problem is, like I said, and I said this a lot. I don't know if you remember. Trump doesn't understand international politics. He doesn't understand people. He doesn't understand what Russia wants, right? Like when Russia invaded, it became very clear that what Russia wants and views as rational, or at least Putin, is not what we view as rational, right? That's obvious because it just didn't make sense for them to do it or to continue to do it even. And he showed through this entire thing, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what. He's been talking to Putin, as far as I know. So is Musk, I guess. But they don't really have a concise. He doesn't have a concise understanding. He fundamentally cannot understand that Russia wants something that he doesn't want. And it's like, it's funny because that's like geopolitics 101 is miscalculation. And
Hmm.
Trump literally miscalculates everything. Literally miscalculates everything. Literally just miscalculates it. He made a deal with Ukraine and got nothing for it. Got not a goddamn thing. Isn't that fucking crazy? Isn't that crazy? Did all that song and dance and got nothing for it.
Jerry, we're literally talking about that deal.
Literally talking about the deal. I've read the deal, by the way. I've also read the statements from the people involved. Norbert, what's up?
Yeah, so I just want to jump in and sort of continue what you said on how little Trump understands what he's doing. So I'm Dutch and I live in Germany, so I think I can sort of offer the European perspective on this. And just as like the smallest detail, I saw a meeting where he sent these envoys to the French only to tell the French that the interior of the Champs-Élysées, which is like their governmental palace, kind of looked like the inside of Mar-a-Lago. And I'm telling you, if you guys were European or French, you would know just the size of that insult to the French and like everything that he does towards, European nations is so ham-fisted. And I think if you at least the way I see it, there was a real point that he could have been able to make, which is European countries have not contributed to NATO enough. That is completely valid and true, right? And there would have been ways that America could have profited off of sort of pushing Europe to meet those obligations more than he has now. He has just completely sent us towards China, effectively. We don't like China anymore, really, we don't. But he's put us in a position that we basically have to work with them because, yeah, it's so uncertain. Like we used to always think of America as like, yeah, an ally and a reliable one. And again, I just want to be very clear. I'm not trying to argue that my country and our countries have not contributed enough. We have been fucking lazy and had America patrol our lives basically, and then as soon as America does something wrong, then all of Europe is like, oh, war crimes this, war crimes that, or they're the big bully. It's like, yeah, well, if we really think that, then we should meet, our end of the deal. But for instance, trying to deal with Europe, this the EU is the slowest possible thing you can imagine. I don't think you guys can appreciate how slow anything goes here in Europe. It's bizarre. But that means that if you really want us to do something, you cannot say, okay, well, you have 90 days to figure this out. Man, in Europe, nothing takes 90 days. Everything takes like 3 years at least. So it's just been so bizarre seeing this tariffs conversation unravel and basically seeing China sit back and just wait for America to just sort of hand them the keys to us. And I'm also telling you that because of it, if Taiwan is now attacked, Europe will do nothing because we're now split between two superpowers, right? We're the small guys. We have no firepower against either the US or against China, So it's going to force us to make a choice. And Trump, not America, Trump has given us proof that for the next years, it's not America cannot be trusted as a country, right? Not as people, right? So it's just yeah. Sorry, I don't want to take up too much space, but it's been something.
No, you're good. No, you're good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he just undermined everything and everyone's in utter chaos. And Europe, obviously, consensus take a long time to build. But, I don't know. It's just a shit show. And everything the guy does, everything he touches, he just does not understand. And he doesn't even understand why he did it. Like a blue suit at the fucking Vatican. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, I have yet to see. They keep telling me this guy does deals. Does anyone have an example of a good deal that he's made? Like, I don't. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'll be honest. I'll be fair if it is. But I can't really think of one. But hey, I appreciate you coming in. I'm going to see if I can grab a debate. And then, yeah, because I don't have that much time on here today. Actually, Baby Key's ready. I messed up. But anyways, appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Bye, Norbert.
Thank you. Bye.
You don't have that much time. Does anybody have a deal? Like Josh? Anyone? Like, I'll be fair to him if he's done a deal that's like good. But the Abrams Accord, he was criticized saying that was going to make it worse. Guess what? Did. The Doha Agreement. I mean, there's way more shitty deals than there's good ones.
It protected animals. It protected
Yeah.
animals. It made it a federal offense to be abusive to animals.
Yeah, increased the penalty.
But did he write that though, or did he just sign it when he
No.
came across his desk?
He's
Like a deal that he's brokered. Sean,
He
appreciate it for the
gave-
5 over there. The agreement to another agreement. Sean, appreciate it. Thank you for the 5. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? And Sammy, appreciate it for the 5. Did you see the Tennessee law that allows doctors to refuse medical treatment if it goes against their personal morals, ethics, or religious beliefs? I don't think that's going to withstand scrutiny. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Josh.
Wait, we already have that in Florida. We've had it for 2 years, by the way. Like if somebody, you can be refused medical treatment. Oh, yeah, God.
I think
So
you should be fired.
there's a couple other things that happened. Did you see that he's attacking Iran now with sanctions? If anybody does business with Iran, yeah. Like, so what he's doing, he's setting this up to like completely cut off all trades from China, right? China gets like they take 80% of Iran's oil. So
Yeah.
he's saying if you do business with Iran, then you're out of, So he's not attacking them directly, but he is. That's what's the
See
end
what I'm
result
saying?
is
He
gonna
just
be.
doesn't, and there's absolutely no way that China could be like, yeah, we'll do that. Like we can. There's no way that they can cut off oil to him. They don't have the energy capacity. He's just an idiot. He's an idiot. They don't know what he just rambles shit, and then it fails, and then he rambles some more shit, and then he creates a problem, and then he fixes his own problem. Literally, all the guy does is fix his own problems.
Donald
Yeah,
Trump
I'm
is
streaming at
replacing
6.
Mike Waltz.
Huh?
Mike
Hegseth,
Waltz is
too.
out. Oh, I didn't hear about
Hegseth too. Well, they're
I just heard
gonna.
he's
That's
replacing
the word
Waltz.
that Hegseth is gonna go. Waltz is going
Yeah,
to.
I heard that. I didn't hear if he'd done it though.
Yeah, Waltz is going to be an ambassador or something. I can't
Yeah, he's a
remember.
UN ambassador. He's
Yeah.
replacing him with Marco Rubio. It's fucking awesome. Hear my sarcasm.
It's about to start. It's about to start breaking down pretty seriously.
He's officially
Stephen
taken away,
Miller?
The whole ass white nationalist. He's officially taken away Harvard's tax exemption. He said that this morning in a Truth Social post.
Yeah, didn't he
Okay,
call
yeah.
University of Alabama the new Harvard? Something like
Oh,
that.
jeez.
Yeah, he did.
Jesus Christ.
Something like that. Roll Tide.
Oh
Roll
my god.
Tide. Yeah, they halted $2.2 billion in federal research grants to Harvard. So this isn't federal research grants to Harvard. This is where they study how to cure cancer, you guys. That's
Yep.
what he's stripping.
It's not just gonna start with them though. It's not just gonna start. It's not just gonna be them. And I don't think they're able to take away their tax exemption status. By the way, that's gonna get fought in court. There's like designations that they can, but they can't just take it away. And I just want to point out that there's literally video of Vance saying how wrong it was that they would weaponize taking away tax designation status. You know, he spoke at University of Alabama yesterday.
Called them the new Harvard.
I just want to be clear. I don't think University of Alabama is a bad school. I think it's a solid school. It ain't no fucking Harvard. I don't think I would put it in like the top 25. It might even go further down than that, honestly. What
It's
is
good
it rated?
if you want to have a football career, or chance
It's
of getting out. It's
yeah.
very good. It's
I
very.
think they have like good engineering field, and but it ain't no Harvard.
Yeah, no. No think
Judge
tank going on there.
Yeah, not doing a ton. Well, they might do some research.
You lost, haha. Remember when they cried it's always so funny to me that they're still on this. You lost in 2020 and can't let it up. Now you get to watch the economy collapse. I do want to say this. I'm gonna go grab Baby K in a minute here. I'm sorry I was late. I could not get the audio to work, and so I was crashing out. Sean, appreciate it. I heard Rubio is going to be Secretary of Defense as well. Also, I see Vice President's future as well. Probably going to be everything. It's just going to be Marco Rubio is going to be the cabinet in the future. This is the guy who told us Kamala would win in a landslide. This is the people that are telling us that Donald Trump still won 2020. Maybe you should go ahead and fucking check your own backyard, bud. You guys are still fucking losing about that. Fucking crazy to me.
We got
what was I
Jared
gonna
in the
say?
queue.
I know, but I gotta run here in a minute. But I want to talk about this really quick. I basically I was like, I'm gonna go pick up Baby K, but I didn't know what time he was gonna be ready, so I was like, can I pick him up around whatever? So, I thought he was gonna be ready later, so I was like, well, I'll just still go live then. We're about to watch shipping in this country collapse. It's gonna be really fucking bad. And the problem is nobody will know that it's even bad until it collapses. You're gonna watch
They're
truck
trying to
drivers out of
spin it.
business. I don't know how you spin it. Our trucking industry is about to go under. There's trucks or ports are dried up. There's nothing there. So I mean, this has been going on for a few days, 2, 3, 4 months of this, and you're going to have entire distribution industries collapse. You're going to have millions of truck drivers out of work. You're going to have millions of warehouse workers out of work, probably even more. Delivery drivers, longshoremen, list goes on. Also, all of the accounting, there's going to be money's going to dry. You're talking about like a staple of the U.S. economy, which is distribution, just being fucking decimated. And will everyone survive? I don't fucking know. They're trying to spin it now by saying, well, we should buy less. Have you seen this? I swear to God, I saw a video. Josh, you're going to love this.
Yeah, no,
I saw a
I've seen
video.
it. I saw it too.
Oh, did you? Okay. So for those of you that don't know, she basically goes, we should buy less. Amazon has been robbing us blind forever. And I was like, what the fuck? You're against the billionaires and the corporations now? But
So what I saw also was they're showing pictures of China having a bunch of ships at their ports, and we're having no ships at our ports. And they're like, look, we're sending all the ships back. These are their factories. And then they show pictures of like empty factories, and then a portion of their airport was empty. Like, bro, that's not a source. That's literally a stock photo that you're showing us of an empty airport and empty factories. He's like, it's crashing China's economy right now as we speak. Okay, bud. Then
And you
show
know
me.
what?
Show me where
That
that's happening.
that rhetoric, TikTok, it's working because I was just watching Monica's live, and that guy Popcorn, that weirdo, he was up there and he was repeating exactly that. And he was like,
Yeah.
"No, He's like, you're calling Monica dumb and stuff and saying they're closing down their factories, their warehouses. Like, they just repeat it.
Then there's got to be some kind of reporting on it. Well, you can't trust China. Okay, man.
They're lying to us. These
Show us
pictures.
their stocks then that are going under. Show us something that is a primary source of what you're saying, not a stock image photo off Google of an empty airport. It's fucking wild. Anyway, man, go get your kid.
All
I gotta
right.
go get my
Yeah, I
picture
mean,
taken.
China's economy is not relying on this like ours is, and our government isn't even contemplating that there could be negative. Like China is. This is the crazy part. China has been prepping for months and months and months and months and months for this, right? To like insulate their economy in the event that it gets completely fucked up, and we're just like, no, it's not doing anything. Meanwhile, trucks are sitting on fucking laws places. They're laying off warehouse workers, and all this bad shit is happening. I'm just wondering, like, how bad is this going to get for the Trump administration? Just like, yeah, like how bad are we going to watch this get? I don't, because if you go let's be real. If you go 2 or 3 months, right, a lot of these shipping companies are already in serious debt. They're already in serious debt over COVID. You go 2, 3 more months, added on top of that after they thought they've caught back up. Then what?
Well, we also don't forget airlines too, because we do use planes as well. So
Yeah, airplanes,
shipping,
pilots, people in the
trains.
ground crews, people in Amazon fulfillment centers, people that are working on major Amazon warehouses that ship out of those. It's Walmart, you name it. It's gonna be really, really, really fucked. All right, Someone said, host sounds like he never worked a real... Is this up to date? It's not. Someone said I never worked a real job in my life. It's crazy. All right.
All right, guys. Y'all
I will
take care.
see you at 6 p.m. Pacific. We will be back. Sorry I couldn't get the live up on normal time schedule, but I will see you guys in... yeah. I'll see you guys in a few hours. Sound good? All right, guys. Take care.